dance for joy.
Welcome to Sensible Secondhand Reviews, the series where we look at practical and sensible cars that you can buy for a budget of between £1,000 and £5,000. This is a 2017 Suzuki Vitara 1.6 SZT automatic. But is it any good? Did you care? Let's find out, shall we? So the current generation Suzuki Vitara, and obviously this car is still being made to this day, was introduced in 2015. The first facelift happened in 2018, about a year after this car was made, and then there was a second facelift that's just happened in the late part of 2024. At the time of the launch, there were just two engines available, both 1.6s, one of which we can't talk about on this channel, and then this petrol version with 118 horsepower. In 2016, that engine was joined by a 1.4 turbo with 138 horsepower in the Vitara S model. And then in 2018, that engine was kept, and it was supplemented by a 1 litre 3-cylinder turbo with 109 horsepower, replacing this 1.6. In 2020, all engines apart from the 1.4 were dropped, and that actually had a mild hybrid system added onto it, which reduced the power down to 127 horsepower. In 2022, a 1.5 full hybrid model was introduced with about, I think it's 120 horsepower. It's not that quick, actually. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. Well, let's see how quick this 1.6 version feels with this automatic gearbox. Let's wait for a gap in the traffic. Off we go. I think 0 to 60 in this car is like 12 seconds. Actually, it pulls all right. I mean, we can put it into manual mode. I mean, I'll use these paddles and see if hold the gears a bit longer. Yeah, change up. 4th, 5th, 6th. 6th gear. Let's put it back into auto mode because most people who drive a Vitara are not going to use the manual mode on the gearbox. I'd recommend really the 5-speed manual if you're looking at one of these early 1.6 Vitaras, or indeed the 1 litre turbo. It was only made for a couple of years. You could get an automatic on the 1.4. But again, I've driven one of those actually with a 6-speed manual, and that's really good. Hybrid, I think, is automatic only. One of the things about a Vitara is the way they drive. It is really, really good. Even though this is not the fastest thing, I prefer the manual, but it's what we've got today. So sadly, viewers, in this little lay-by, which is the access road to the old cricket house pub in Dudley, someone's been fly tipping in here, which is a bit of a shame, but we shall continue. So this is the pre-facelift version of the current generation Vitara. It's actually been around for 10 years now, and they've just facelifted actually for the 2025 model year. So it's still around. It looks very different now, the new facelifted one. There's been 2 major facelifts already in this. I don't know how long Suzuki will keep this in production, to be honest, but Secondhand Tivoli's had a similar thing happen, and that came up the same year as this, so, you know, why not? I don't think it looks too bad. I think the Vitara is a successful design. I used to own a first generation Vitara. I owned it at about the beginning of the channel in 2018. Now, unfortunately, we never reviewed the car because we couldn't get an MOT on it. So it appears in some very early shots from the first couple episodes of Tweed Jacket Reviews, but I have driven a couple of these before as well on the channel. The 2018 SZT Kuro in 2021, and then later on the same year an SZ5 that was a mild hybrid 1.4. boot in this is about 375 litres. I didn't think on the SZT models like this one, but actually you could get parking sensors and a reversing camera. I thought it was just the camera, but it's good to see both on this car. Boot on the Vitara, and this is slightly smaller actually on the mild hybrid, and the hybrid models that are now out, is about 375 litres on this 1.6 petrol. You get adjustable height boot floor, which is fantastic. What if I can just sort of put my hand, maybe a finger in there, and then raise this boot floor up and have a look? And yes, I'm rewarded with a space saver spare. Fantastic. Oh. So if I put that back up again, you can actually remove these dividers as well if you want to. Make the boot a little bit bigger, but it's not too bad. It's not as big as a SsangYong Tivoli or an MG ZS, but it's not too bad. It'll handle up here to help you drop the tailgate and have the dealer plate rattle like it's been doing in the front as well, but there we go. Get in this side. The boot and the doors are very, very light. It's actually a very light car in general. I don't think it weighs much more than a ton particularly, this, which is good. Let's get in. One thing that I am noticing, as opposed to the SX4S Cross we had on Sensible Secondhand reviews about sort of 10 months ago, is that it's just not as spacious as one of those. The SX4S Cross and the Vitara are based on the same platform. They are very much the same car underneath and share the same components, but this is just not as big. I mean, it's perfectly fine. The headroom's really good, but if I'm sitting behind myself, and that's my driving position there, it's just not as spacious as some other cars. The MG ZS and SsangYong Tivoli again sort of stand out. There's a bit more room in those than this. But if your children aren't very tall, or you don't carry passengers very much in the back, it's not necessarily a problem. We've got map pocket there, but only one. Adjustable seat belts. Actually, you've got as well a nice place to put bottles in the bag. I'll keep the door open. We don't get a rear actually no, that is a rear courtesy light. I lied. I like these door handles. Are they soft? Yes. Nice and damped. Brilliant. That's not so bad, is it, viewers? It's good. I like these cars actually. They are pretty good. The only thing is this door card, plastic on it is just so shiny. Now these are very, very reliable cars, and actually they are constructed solidly. It's just the materials don't feel the highest quality, which is a bit of a shame. Right, let's get in here. And again, this dashboard, it just doesn't look very enticing particularly. Just shut the door. It's 3 degrees today in Dudley, viewers. As well, this bit up there, you get a clock in some of the higher trims on these early cars, but this doesn't have anything. I think the Kuro model that I drove in 2021 did have something up there. This doesn't get that though. Put the key in. Same key as on an old Vauxhall Aguila. Look at this. Extraordinary. So, not an awful lot sort of going on the dash. Just good old-fashioned white on black instruments. There's not really much to say with this. I think you cycle through this with this big thing here. I don't think you actually even use a sort of steering wheel controls. You use these big things here. We'll see what happens if we press this button here. There we go. That's trip computer information. What about this one? Yeah, I'm going to have to switch hands again. There we go. So, fuel economy, average fuel economy, 83 miles, average speed. What do you want that on? Just leave it on that. Nothing. Great. Then on this touchscreen, it's a very sort of primitive touchscreen by today's standards. Obviously, the new car has a much, much nicer system than this. I think I would say is that I don't like having to use this stupid slider for the volume. I think that's terrible. Like, why can't you just have a normal volume control? I don't know, but actually even the modern system that's come out for the 2025 model year is kind of a bit like this. One thing I am glad is that it's the same is this climate control panel down here, which is actually really similar. Now this is just a normal climate control. There's no dual zone system on this, but it's very, very similar in the 2025 model year cars, and there's no bad thing. It's got proper sort of knobs and switches, and that's a really refreshing thing to see, even though this looks like it's of a 90s hi-fi, but never mind. Down there we've got, if you can actually see this, USB and aux in, they're sort of tucked in here. Sorry, not USB and 12-volt socket, I do apologise. Normal handbrake, brilliant. 2 cup holders, brilliant. Armrest in the middle, like that. Nothing much going on down here. It looks like there's supposed to be another 12-volt socket in there, but I can't get my cap off. So yeah, just sort of lots and lots and lots of shiny bits. Now this is better on this dash. It sort of breaks up, but otherwise would be just one massive area of sort of textured hard black plastic, which is not the best, but there we go. Take the manual out. Let's see if my secret mission documents actually go into the glove box. Yes, do they go in the manual in there as well? Oh yes, what a fabulous car, viewers. And we've got some nice big door bins. Actually, door bins are huge in this car. They're really big. I'm not sure we've got powerful mirrors. No, we don't. But we've got automatic driver's window. And we've got this sort of way of opening and closing the vents. Actually, let's have a look at the screen whilst we're here. There's not really a lot to say. The home screen's that. Then the settings are here. It's not really much going on here, is there? Not really much at all. There's no Android Auto, Apple CarPlay or anything like that, and connecting the phone for calls or whatever. No smartphone linked. How do we we don't do anything. We do nothing at all. We can't do anything. Just sit here and, well, no, not much going on really. Nothing exciting. So maybe it has Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. I can't remember now. Maybe I didn't think these do, but maybe I'm wrong. Do we have, what on earth? Driving recommendations. Can we not just show the map or something on this? Can we not just do that, or is it just one of these weird things? Oh no, here we go. My gosh, we do have sat nav. It's not particularly good sat nav. I mean, you want to use these days just your phone, wouldn't you? But it's there, which is good. Right, I'll open the door just to show you the door pocket again. We've got just hard, scratchy black plastic. We've got a bit of fabric, which is better, but you know, if you want perceived quality of interiors, this is not the car for you. Maybe something like, I don't know, something from Volkswagen would be better, but you know, it's perfectly well constructed. It's not rattling or anything. It just doesn't feel the best in that way. Yeah, big baby old door bin. Right, let's stop the whittering on and have a look under the bonnet, shall we? Fantastic. The good old 1.6 normally aspirated chain cam Suzuki engine generating 118 horsepower. Only available in the cars until the facelift that occurred the year after this car was made. It's actually a very, very good unit. This. Not to say that the 1 litre 1.4 engines and the 1.5 engine that came after this aren't good, because they are, but this is just known for being really, really dependable. It's got automatic gearbox in this car. I personally prefer the manual one, but that's just me. It was a 5-speed manual on these 1.6s. Get a 6-speed on some of the other engines. And even I think this older version does still look quite good. I think the new versions look even better, but this is a nice looking car. It's a bit more sporty looking than the S-Cross. Anyway, let's go out for another drive, shall we? One of the best things about these 4th generation Vitaras is the way that they drive. They have a very, very composed ride, but also very, very good handling, particularly for such a tall car. It's absolutely amazing the way Suzuki have done it. Now, the SX4 S-Cross was launched in 2013, and we tested one of those on the channel in the early part of last year, also with this 1.6 petrol engine. They're a lot softer than this. The Vitara's got this amazing balance of ride and handling. It's so good. It's actually one of the better cars in this class to drive in that respect. Steering is really well weighted, ride is nice and compliant, and actually it corners quite flat. I've driven quite a few of these, and they drive really well. It's actually one of the main reasons why you might buy one of these cars. A surprisingly kind of pleasant thing to drive, both on faster roads, on the motorway, and also through town. But even if it was an automatic version, it's the simplicity itself to drive, the visibility is really good. It just is able to acquit itself very well in most situations, and for a car like this, really that's the sort of thing you want. So yes, nice ride over the bumps. Heating's working well in this very chilly day. Driving position is good. You can adjust it for reach and brake. It's a very easy car to recommend. The only thing I would say is when these cars were launched, I think the base model started under £14,000, but that was 10 years ago. But now you'd be looking, gosh, kind of closer to sort of £27,000, £28,000. Base model when these were launched was the SZ4. This SZT was in the middle. It was joined by an SZT Courier Edition, I think, in 2017. And then the SZ5 on top of that. You could get four-wheel drive on a surprising number of the engines, actually, and transmissions. And in fact, I think you can still get four-wheel drive in a Vitara today. In 2024, this car was fundamentally changed in terms of the trim levels. They're now called Motion and Ultra, and there was a Go Special Edition at some point as well. But really, this is quite similar to the car that you can buy in the showroom today. And with prices of these starting under £5,000, you don't really need to necessarily go and spend, almost £30,000 on one of these to get a very good car indeed. Particularly the 1.6 petrol is very dependable. And I can see why people would have bought one of these. I almost did buy one of these in 2017. I looked at quite a number of options, and I didn't buy one of these in the end. But some ways I wish I sort of had, because they are very good. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Thank you again to Summit Garage, who allowed me to drive a nice variety of cars today. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And we shall see you again for some more reasonably priced motoring.